What's going on YouTube? Kimmy here back with another video, and today we got the Adult Swim problem. Now, Adult Swim ain't got the greatest track record. They don't. They had that joint, Ninja Kamui, trash. Thought I got after episode 3. Once they had introduced the mechs, it was GG's. My goodness. Who do you think got done worse? Done dirty worse? Uzumaki or Ninja Kamui? I think Uzumaki, because Uzumaki is like a beloved series, and that they put all their eggs into season 1. Or I think there was like different studios that did each, episode. But I heard it was in development. That joint was in development for like 10 years or something like that. So that joint was trash. I only got to see episode 1, and then when I went on my trip, episode 2 came out. I did not even bother. It's like, that's trash. At least Ninja Kamui got 3 episodes out of me. I don't know how you failed, because the main reason why fellows were watching it was because of the animation. And then when that fell, it was just another revenge story with generic isekai number 13 of the season level animation. But Lazarus is out. I honestly think Lazarus got me tapped in. I'm on like episode 3. I'm not caught up yet, but I think it's pretty decent. But no one's talking about it. This thing is pretty much like, you might as well just call it even this show right here, Shunejiki, this incest show right here. This joint is getting more attention than what this thing got, bro. It's sad. It got the John Wick director and the one from Cowboy Bebop, but it's just not. Those ain't really giving it like no shine. I think it's good, but let me see. Do y'all think it's good? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, let's get into this. I've yapped long enough.
Looking at the spring 2025 anime lineup and spotting Lazarus, directed by one of the greatest anime directors of our time, Shinichiro Watanabe. This guy's an absolute legend.
Yes,
Cowboy
go.
Bebop, Samurai Champloo,
Yep.
Death Parade. Not only that, he invited Chad Stileski to the kitchen, the same guy who choreographed a ton of John Wick action sequences. They're also teaming up with MAPPA, one of the best anime studios for action in the past few years. Not to mention, you have amazing sound
The music,
like
that's the OST for this joint is actually amazing. Like, I got the joint downloaded.
This feels like gathering the fucking Avengers to create a modern masterpiece, the likes we haven't seen since Cowboy Bebop. But then I see the 2 words that strike fear into every single modern anime fan:
Adult Swim.
Now, if you're a high IQ Rick and Morty watcher, you probably don't get the issue. Adult Swim is responsible for producing a ton of amazing shows like The Boondocks, Smiling Friends, Robot Chicken, But when they get their hands on the anime project, it's a different story.
Adult Swim's anime catalog, all of them have been a letdown.
It doesn't matter how promising the anime appears, because at the end of the day, Adult Swim is cursed.
Oh my gosh, yo.
That just makes
I think, is this the second episode when I saw the PNG falling down to the Dante's Inferno? I was like, bro, what the heck?
Every project they get when it's related to anime. First was Ninja Kamui. This was a high
Yo, this had so much potential. You know what the bad thing is, bro? I put my homeboys onto this show. I put my uncle onto this show just for it to fall on his face. Because one thing you know about me, when I recommend a show, it's usually peak, and it usually goes the distance. I do not recommend trash. This is a stain on my record. I gotta hold this for the rest of my career. This is like Maverick's Braun.
Just getting revenge, being directed by the guy who directed Jujutsu Kaisen. We were getting
Gosh.
action sequences from this, and it was really feeling like anime John Wick out here. But then episode 5 and beyond starts introducing mecha elements,
No.
shifting to CGI animation. This felt like it was betraying the show's core identity, especially since we had such a high bar for the hand-drawn animation. Introducing CGI just really made a lot of people sour on it. That was strike 1 for Adult Swim. Then we got the Rick and Morty anime. This is something, by the way, nobody fucking asked.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
watch that. I didn't even watch that, dog. I didn't even care for it.
Pikuru Riku. Now, this one doesn't really fall into the same bucket as Ninja Kamui.
Yeah, I think that one's a little
at least
different.
That one looked a little promising. This Rick and Morty anime was always going to be ass, but again, that's another Adult Swim shitty anime. Strike 2. And then comes Uzumaki. This one really hurt me. My therapist told me that my trust issues come from this experience because as a lifelong Junji Ito fan, no, I'm not kidding, look at my fucking manga collection, which I even got the cat one. They got me thinking, finally, an anime that can actually match the style of one of my favorite horror mangas. Then we get the first episode. I'm absolutely loving it. Dead ass. I was about to make a video about how much I was enjoying their faithful
No,
adaptation of
this first episode was honestly masterful. That joint was, it was probably one of the best first episodes I've ever seen. Animation.
But as we all know, we got honeypotted.
I'm just gonna say it. It is horrible.
Am I losing or did the animation quality dip?
It's probably the worst animation I've seen in a very, very long time.
Rumors start flying around that a hentai studio animated parts of this anime. Later, we'll start hearing from the executive producer, Jason DeMarco, acknowledging these issues and stating that the team had to choose between airing incomplete episodes or
Let me go back in the VOD. Did I have Sting from this, dog? I said Thing from this, but like, did I have? That would be crazy if it just reset. I remember I kept looking at it. You know what? I'll just do it. Sucks. I think I hit something. I don't even know what I hit. But the show must go on. That's fine.
or just releasing the series with its defects, knowing full well just how much money and time they had sunk into this project. And ultimately, I suspect this is the reason that Adult Swim produced anime tend to sink. Too much vision and not enough time or budget. And if you look deeper into the production, it turns out that Hiroshi Nakahama was responsible for directing and supervising a ton of the shots in the first episode. This guy is an absolute legend, by the way, probably the biggest reason that the first episode looked as good as it did, and he's basically not on a single shot after that, which is a shame because in an alternate timeline, this anime is actually decent when they let him cook. Regardless, the outcome was horrible. In Adult Swim, that was strike 3. My therapist is telling me not to text you anymore. But here you are again, sliding into my DMs, showing me some of the sexiest fights I've seen all season.
Yeah, this first episode was really good.
Jazz that's giving me flashbacks to Yoko Kanno on Cowboy Bebop. Maybe Lazarus is the show to break the Adult Swim anime curse. But first, let's talk about the show itself, beyond who's just making it. There are a lot of promising pieces here, by the way. The plot is very interesting. In the year 2052, Dr. Skinner gives the world a drug called Hapna, a revolutionary painkiller that eradicates all human suffering. But 3 years later, Skinner reappears and reveals that Hapna will kill everyone who's taken it, unless he is found within 30 days to give the cure. This is where the elite task force Lazarus is created and leads to our characters. The main character of their
Yeah, from what I could tell, 3 episodes in, it's a pretty interesting plot. I still need to see more. I think they're on like episode 6.
show is definitely Axel. His hobbies include escaping prison and just being him. This is basically Timu Spike with
Timu Spike. I almost caught up. I had the joke. And I missed it. Great value. It wasn't great. Nah, shut up.
On the motorcycle who just fucks shit up. There's Alina the hacker girl, Doug the scientist, Leland the drone pilot. Everyone has a certain kind of skill set, which is giving Akudama Drive vibes. And as a side note, do not watch the dub for this anime. I don't know what Adult Swim was doing.
Yo.
Every voice actor sounds like they're...
Yeah. I work. I got a screen right here, and sometimes it gets busy, so I can't read the subtitles and look at tickets at the same time. But yeah, this dub is actually bad. It's not good. It's like it's not Super Cube dub level,
about to
but
fall asleep while saying the most corny line imaginable.
it's very like 2003 voice acting.
How about something with the vibe of a man who sold his soul to the devil.
Oh my god.
Let's be real. The biggest reason that we're all looking at Lazarus this season is the action. Getting the John Wick guy to help choreograph your animation sequences to a jazz fusion soundtrack is proving to be a recipe for success. So far, I've been walking away from every action sequence satisfied. The way the train is used to emphasize super fun and cool movements is just brilliant. In the first episode, there's a whole prison escape sequence where our main character is climbing from floor to floor. He's doing flips and kicks. Perfect timing with the music. It just delivers this amazing experience of seamless action. It helps that our main character is basically a parkour god. You know, my guy must never fall when he's playing Minecraft. But it's also why I'm a little skeptical about the whole show in general. I honestly haven't connected to any of the characters so far, or the themes of the show, and I kind of feel like I'm twiddling my thumbs waiting for the next shootout or big action sequence. Maybe TikTok has ruined my brain chemistry, but I remember watching Cowboy Bebop a few years ago and seeing it grapple with the themes of free will, responsibility, and loss, while still having amazing action sequences to keep me engaged. Now, given that this is a 13-episode show with an insane premise, I'm really curious to see the amount of time it gives towards its plot and characters. You know, is it all action and no plot? The plot and setting in Lazarus seems to point towards some interesting themes, you know, about human extinction, eco-terrorism, and more. And to be fair, I know it's only been 2 episodes so far. My critiques about the plot and the themes can definitely wait until later. Once we see how it all ends up, I probably will have some bigger critiques, or maybe it'll actually wrap everything up in a nice bow. The bigger problem in my eyes is whether Mappa can keep up with this production. Apparently they only gave him the guideline of keep it serious, which, you know, they probably watched Space Dandy and were like, yeah, this guy needs to
Holy,
so far everything is
what's going on there? But yeah, Mappa. Last time they did a series, not last time because they've had a series past then, but I remember JJK almost shut down. I don't know why Siri answered my. I don't even know why Siri listening. But yeah, that JJK season 2 almost fell off. Like in terms of like people almost crashed out and didn't show up for work. They have done like smaller projects. I know Zenshu, they did Zenshu and some baseball thing, but they haven't done like a big one like this. So hopefully this one could keep up.
great. But will this show crash and burn like its predecessors? Is the GOAT Shinichiro Watanabe enough to keep the show above water? Well, you know, only time will tell. So I'll probably keep watching this all the way through because he hasn't disappointed me yet, even though Adult Swim has. Despite all my negativity in this video, I actually do have high hopes for Lazarus, but just know this, Adult Swim. If this anime ends up like in the shitter, like Uzumaki, I will never forgive you. Peace.
Oh yeah, that's the video. Pretty funny. Pretty cool. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Yeah. See, oh, by the way, this reaction is on Twitch. So I'm doing reactions on Twitch now that I beat Expedition 33. So if you want to come by, swing by and watch them, let's get it popping. But without further ado, make sure you have a blessed day. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.